All righty.
Hello, Kansas City and the KUAW audience. This is Professor Smooth Jazz with KUAW with the Smooth Jazz Radio Show. And you can check me out every Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m., 9 to 10 p.m., and Friday again at 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. But today we are here with a special guest on my interview show, KUAW, with Damon Terrell, multi-talented and self-taught, born in Detroit, Michigan, guitarist. Damon, how are you doing? And tell the audience hello.
Hello, everyone. And thank you for having me. I'm doing great on this wonderful day.
And we thank you for taking this time to interview with the KUAW radio station here in Kansas City, Missouri. So you said you were born in Detroit, Michigan?
Yes, I was.
So you up there with all the music talent.
Yeah, it's saturated.
Okay. So go ahead and tell us a little bit of your background, how you started out with guitar, how that was your instrument of choice, and how you got into smooth jazz. What did you do before you start playing smooth and contemporary jazz?
Well, I started off with the guitar as obvious choice of instrument. Mm-hmm. I always had a desire to play at a very early age. And make a long story short, once my grandmother, she's the one that raised me, she bought me the guitar. So I was able to teach myself, because obviously we didn't have the finances to get the lessons and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was totally determined to play the guitar. And I kid you not, I mean, I played the thing and maybe a couple hours a day, you get your calluses, your fingers start hurting, then my fingers started turning black. And it was a great thing to do, a great experience at that time. Then I got into a lot of rock music, a lot of Prince music, you know, a lot of heavy metal music, Jimi Hendrix, that kind of stuff. And then one thing, I was introduced to some jazz by some relatives, and I took a liking to that, and the smooth jazz came along, and I was really like that. So I started getting into some other stuff like Yanni, then some jazz music, and wow, it's just amazing how your taste buds change, you know, from one end to the other. Jazz is so relaxed. It's a great thing to have, you know, where you can really enjoy life and experience the peace. You know, so pretty much that's a nutshell of where I came from rock, grunge music, Prince and heavy metal, from that to new age to jazz.
So you mentioned Jimi Hendrix. So yeah, you look pretty young now. I mean, I'm 67, so I was around there that Jimi Hendrix, the band, the Gypsies, you know. I was in high school when that was going on.
Really? My uncle, he schooled me on some Jimi Hendrix. I had no idea who he was, but when he took me on to him and let me know that this is one of the greatest guitar players of all times, and I was very, very intrigued by what I was hearing, and because he was ahead of his time,
pioneer,
you know. So, but yeah, that's how I got a hold of getting it. And then my grandmother had his album, so I was able. That band, the Gypsies, you talking about?
Yeah.
That was like one of my first rock songs that I learned how to play was "Who Knows."
Yeah. So man, that was kind of funny because it was a lot of the neighborhood I grew up with. Well, we kind of heard Rare Earth and, you know, but not a lot of, went into a lot of rock. But man, you hear guys humming that song, you know, that little melody, you know, walking around. So it was kind of, you know, because it was more where I was, it was more R&B, you know, Motown, you know, things like that, you know, Temptations. And so because of Jimi Hendrix, we start listening to other things, you know, start, you know, a lot Santana and Rare Earth, you know, man, Iron Butterfly. We just start That kind of. So, who are some of your influences on the guitar?
As of now, I'm liking Wes Montgomery.
Okay. Yeah,
Peter White. I like,
yeah,
I like White as well.
yeah.
He's a
Yeah,
to me.
great. Yeah.
Mark Antoine, back when I
Oh,
first
yeah.
started doing jazz, I liked
Mhm.
Mark Antoine a lot.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just got a new selection, Groovy Sunday or something like that. So
Oh,
yeah, so I think he's got a new, so he must have a new CD coming out. Yeah, I think I played that like spun that last week, I think it is. So now it says in your early 20s, that's when you started seriously uh to composing your own music. So
yes.
you learned that on your own too?
Yeah. I learned that on my own because I'm like, I don't know what was about myself, but I always liked music. When I was a kid, I used to pretend I'm playing instruments, like
Mm-hmm.
airplane, guitar,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a chair that some type of chair that my grandmother had, like a drum. So for some reason, it was some type of creativity that was, now that I look back, there was some type of creativity that was always in me. So when I got an opportunity, when I got in my 20s, when I started really playing heavily and strong, I was able to start creating my own music.
But you play now, and so you play more than more than the guitar though. So
Yeah,
do you
I played
you still do that now on your CDs? You still play some of the other instruments on your CD?
yeah, like the piano, bass,
Mhm.
and drums.
So on this new, I spun two of your selections. The last one was Transformation, I think it was, and the other one was it Late Night Jazz or something like that?
Jazz After Midnight.
Just After Midnight. Yeah. So on one of my other shows that I online, it usually comes on after midnight. So that's why I usually stick that right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So on that CD, you play most of the instruments in.
Mm-hmm. Now the
Oh,
Jazz
okay.
After Midnight,
Mhm.
I played everything on that one as well. Drums, bass, keys, and guitar, and Transformation. Yeah, all the instruments I played on that one as
Oh,
well.
that's a, yeah. Now, so your debut CD was In My Life, and the new CD is a Transformation. Transformation.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So is there a difference between how you started, well, in my life and from the new CD? Because
The
I haven't
different.
heard In My Life. I just, this is my first time listening to you when a Transformation. I
Oh,
think you're a record label or something like that introduced me to it.
and what was the question you said
I
about
said,
it? Is
was there a difference? I haven't heard In My Life yet, but was there
oh
a
yeah.
difference between In My Life and Transformation? Kind of like the musical selections, genres or style, or
Sorry, excuse me. Need some
Mhm.
water. But yeah, it was definitely a difference. I probably don't need it now. In My Life was like the first CD, and it's more variety.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that, you got a lot of stuff in that one. You got a little smooth jazz, you got a little hint of rock in there, and you got a hint of new age classical kind of feel,
Mhm.
and then you have some Latin in there.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
totally different. It's something that I just branch out to doing. It all came from the heart of what I want to hear and what I want my listeners to feel.
Mhm.
As when they listen to it, and as when I'm playing, they can relate to how I'm feeling with this music. And one of the songs on there that I did get a lot of love with airplay was a song called "When I Look at You."
Mhm. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to check. I'm gonna have to check those out. Now, there's a lot of musicians that I've talked to. A lot of them, uh, I'd say, get some playing experience in church, uh, playing with the
yeah,
church choir and things like that.
yeah, they do. My experience was not from church at the beginning.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was straight up like I said, heavy metal, rock. I mean, I came from Jimi Hendrix to Eddie Helen. I don't know if you know about Van Halen or not.
Who is that?
But
No.
Van Halen.
Van Halen?
Van Halen, yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I call him by his full name, but yeah, Van Halen.
Yeah, Eddie. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I came from, but then when I got of age to start working, and a lot of and then I did get become a Christian at a certain point in my life, and to start playing in church after.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Some people, a lot of other musicians, they start off playing church stuff. Yeah, but me, I didn't. I started off playing, a lot of worldly stuff. Then I gravitated to playing in church, and I still do to this day.
Yeah.
Go to church.
Okay. Yeah. It's not the choir, it's the choir. So you also got to showcase your talents on some of your television networks.
Okay.
So you also got to showcase some of your talents on some television networks.
Yeah, some local networks here in Detroit. Yes. Yeah, that was fun. That was a nice thing. Me and my band performed at one time on a TV station, local TV station. And then recently I just did something on a local TV station. We had this what do you call it? Home studio performance. I call it performance, but it was something like a home studio because we had pandemic. We weren't able to go to the studio there to perform. So we had to have pre-recorded stuff, and that was live pretty much. I did it live, and then that was that. It was a good thing though. The exposure was good. It helps out a lot, especially the crafting that we put into the work, because not only just the craft that's involved with and putting the time into it and our heart and stuff, but it is very costly to do, to put out some good quality material, which we all musicians.
Yes. Speaking of television, you remember, the guitarist Chuck Loeb?
Chuck
Loeb.
And
he passed away a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I was watching the Geico commercial, the new one, and it's got Lisa. And I remember Lisa Loeb is his daughter, and she's kind of playing the guitar and kind of sing, it's one of those Geico commercials.
I didn't know he had a guitar.
Yeah, he died about, a year, 2 years ago, something like that. Yeah, for a while there, we were losing a lot of jazz artists. Then also entertainers. Yeah, just this year, we losing a lot of entertainers and sports, guys that play sports and things like that, and actors.
Yeah. Oh, sad to say.
So what are so you got 2 CDs under your belt. So how are you going about producing and how to call it, getting your music out through this pandemic?
Well, it can be challenging. Just the best thing that we're working with now, because we haven't been able to perform lively at different venues, is through social media. And when the pandemic first started last year, we were doing a lot of pop-up social media. And we were just playing music where we are, just live. We got the place all set up, little studio, and then we just perform. We make little announcements or advertisements of a specific day that we're gonna perform, and then we just perform that day. And then a lot of people, they share some love. They, by, donating or giving some, some tips and stuff with the Cash App or PayPal.
So I know that some artists are starting to kind of put on their web pages where they are, they're listing that, and that they're starting, but within the next month or something like that in June, where they're having venues. And so some of the ones I've seen were kind of outdoors, kind of like, you know.
Mostly of them are.
Well, with it being warm though, too, see that kind of helps.
Definitely. Yeah.
So you still residing in Detroit?
What'd you say now?
You still reside in Detroit where you were raised, or you?
I'm in the outskirts of Detroit. It's like a suburban.
Oh, okay,
But,
okay.
In Detroit from time to time, especially in the downtown area. But I was born in Detroit, but I wasn't raised in Detroit.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
It probably missed that memo, but yeah.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. A lot of people, you know, they want to, you know, stereotype Detroit. You know, every city I know that has, you know, its moments and ups and downs. But in certain areas, I like for them to expose Detroit even more because we got a lot of tourist attractions in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't really know that, but you know, we got some nice stuff in Detroit.
Yeah. Well, but I know as far as music and things like that, man, you on the map.
Yeah, you want some
so many. There was so many groups come out of Detroit, you know.
Yeah, we got to break away. Yeah, and that Motown, man, that was some hot stuff back then. I heard, you know, I hate that. You know, they have moved out and stuff. You know, we could have had a big empire here.
Yeah. Another thing was the car industry, the automotive industry. Man, that was another big thing about Detroit.
Yeah.
When I was at least the 70s and one of the 70s, you know, because there was some people that kind of, you know, they would get transferred. They go up to, you know, worked in automotive like Ford and things like that. You know, they would move up to Detroit, you know, because they still had it going on up there.
Yeah,
so, yeah. Now, Mr. Walker, he does. He's the DJs. Now, not only does he run the radio station, operate the radio station, manage, and do everything else, he also has a old school radio show. He's DJ Scatter from back in the day. He said. So you had to check him out because man, he's playing. Man, then he asked me, "You remember that song?" I said, "I remember the song. I don't remember who it was. I had to be in the 8th grade by it." So he said, "Yeah." So you had to check him out. But thank you, and we appreciate you spending time. And send out an email for to get that KUAW. I'll send you that KUAW script for you to do a liner for us. Because when I play your selection on the show, I will play your drop. Usually ask you your name, instrument you play, how to Kansas City, and anything else you want to say right before your selection plays. That way, the listening audience can hear you, hear you talking, and find out what instrument you play.
Okay.
Kind of giving you what do you call it? Not only hear your music, but get a relationship with your voice. Put a voice to that, the music you're playing.
That will work.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you that script out for you to because I'm about to put you on the schedule here on the KUAW, so I like to get a script too for you to go along with your selection. Okay, well, can you give the audience any connections like your web page if they wanted to catch up with you, see what's coming up and what you?
Absolutely, I'm glad to do that. You guys can catch me at downloads, CDs, or whatever merchandise that we do have. Go to music by Damon Terrell.com. That's music by Damon Terrell.com. And you get all the information about the music, downloads, and everything else is on that website right there. Product, merchandise, everything. And then I do have a Facebook page. You can click on that as well, Damon Terrell Facebook page. And I do have Instagram. And then you can connect me onto Twitter as well. Got all that good stuff.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to leave the audience with before we have to depart here? We'll have to go.
Just want everybody to stay safe, peace, and be wise.
That's good advice there. I'm still gonna wear my mask even though I got the vaccination.
I think a lot of people continue gonna wear that mask for a while.
Yeah, but I
I
got
think
comfortable. You know, and this doesn't bother me. I get comfortable. Only thing is, I like to have an extra one in the car just in case.
you know what, that's a good idea.
Because sometimes
Actually,
I say, yeah, sometimes like, oh man, then I say, oh man, when I think about this, oh yeah. So all right, well, hey, you stay safe in prayers, and looking forward to getting that drop. And I'm gonna have to check out that In My Life music. So you have a good day. Thank you so much for spending
yeah,
this Monday with us out of your busy schedule.
pleasure.